Hello guys, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and whatever you want. So what you want is I'm still thinking it's because of the RMCO is getting started. So please take care of your health. Alright? So we are gonna talk about what happens tomorrow in Malaysia, alright? So you know that tomorrow is Agong's birthday. I mean Yang di Pertuan Agong's birthday. This means like the King of Malaysia. Birthday to His Majesty, the King of Malaysia here. So what am I going to talk about is all about his detail. Alright? Here is this Wikipedia. Here is his Wikipedia here. And we're going to talk about it. So the Yang di Pertuan Agong, right? He who is made Lord. It is known as the supreme head. Yeah, we know. Or the king is the constitutional monarch and head of state of Malaysia. So the office was established. It is established in August 31st, 1957. August 1957, when the PM had been started. They both have been started here when the Federation of Malaya, and now it's called Malaysia now, it gained independence from United Kingdom. So Malaysia is a constitutional monarchy with an elected monarch as head of state. The Yang di Pertuan Agong is one of the few elected monarchs in the world. So, I just want to talk about the minute. You know how's the style? It's still called His Majesty. In mother tongue, we call this Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Seri Paduka Baginda. In Malay. So, you know what's the type? It's called the Constitutional Elective Federal Monarchy. And the status is about the elected by rotation in convention. Because this means that it elect in rotation from each state, generations by generations, state by state. So where do they live is Istana Negara, or the National Palace, that is on Tuanku Abdul Halim Road in Kuala Lumpur, and also Melawati Palace at Putrajaya, the administrative point. So the appointer is the Conference of Rulers, or the rulers of Malay states. So what's the term length? It's actually 5 years, but not renewable immediately. So the constitutioning instrument goes like the Constitution of Malaysia, Article 32. So the first Agong became the inaugural holder. It's called Tuanku Abdul Rahman. That I've really noticed it just now. Really notice it. He's from the state, ninth state. This means Negeri Sembilan in mother tongue. So here the formation is 62 years ago. It formed that year 1957, and the unofficial names is called the King of Malaysia, and the deputy is Sultan Nazrul Muizzuddin Shah, and it is cost about 1,054,560 per annum in salary. So the website www.istananegara.gov.my. So the The 16th and current Yang di-Pertuan Agong is Al Sultan Abdullah Riyayatin Al Mustafa Billah Shah Ibni Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Al Musta'in Billah, or Abdullah of Penang. Pahang. No, not Penang. I just accidentally said it. Pahang, replacing Sultan Muhammad V of Kelantan, who abdicated on 6 January 2019. So he was elected on 24th January at a special meeting of the Conference of Rulers. He took the oath of office and was sworn in at the Istana Negara on 31st January. So that's why what happens is, according to the Conference of Rulers here, it's rotation. So the Queen Consort for the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is known as the Raja Permaisuri Agong, and the couple are styled in English as His Majesty and Her Majesty, respectively. You must be respect with that. So what's the constitutional role? So this Yang di-Pertuan Agong's role is that of a constitutional monarch. The Constitution of Malay and Acts of Parliament made in accordance with it define the extent of his powers as the head of state. These are divided into two categories. The power exercised on advice of the Prime Minister. Another minister, the cabinet, the conference of rulers, or some other officer or institution, and discretionary powers. So the Constitution vests the executive power of the federal government in the monarch. So, however, with few exceptions, he is bound to exercise this power on the advice of the cabinet's general authority. Thus, in practice, most of the actual day-to-day work of governing is performed by the cabinet. So, the discretionary powers of Yang di-Pertuan Agong pertain chiefly to appointing the Prime Minister, withholding consent to dissolve Parliament, and calling meetings with the Conference of Rulers concerned solely with the privileges, position, honors, and dignities of their Royal Highnesses. Under the Westminster system, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is expected to appoint a Prime Minister who will command the confidence of a majority of the Dewan Rakyat, the elected lower house of Parliament. So should the Prime Minister be or become unacceptable, he may be forced out by a vote of no confidence, which would require the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to appoint someone else as Prime Minister or dissolve Parliament for an election. So conventionally, the Prime Minister is Parliament. This was the Barisan Nasional or BN coalition from independence in 1957 until 2018, when Pakatan Harapan (PH) coalition took office. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong renews the appointment of a Prime Minister after every general election until the minister decides to step down. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong has the discretionary powers to choose who he wants as the Prime Minister if no party has won a majority vote, and is not bound by the decision of the outgoing Prime Minister, Article 40. It, however, does not afford him the right and authority to dismiss the Prime Minister. He also can dismiss or withhold consent to a request for the dissolution of Parliament. Article 40. He may be discontinue or dissolve Parliament. Article 55. But he can only dissolve Parliament at the request of the Prime Minister. Article 43. He can reject any new laws or amendments to existing laws, but if he still withhold permission, it will automatically law after 30 days from the initial submission to him. Article 66. Appointments. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints numerous high-ranking office holders in the Federation under the terms of the Constitution and various acts passed by Parliament. The Constitution established procedures for such appointments. So the Council of Ministers, Cabinet. The Prime Minister, as the Chairman of Cabinet, has his discretion from among the elected members of the House of Representatives, who commands the support of the Dewan Rakyat, usually the party or coalition leader, and Deputy Prime Minister that is defunct, that may be defunct. It's the ministers and deputy ministers, while acting on the advice of the Prime Minister. Chief Secretary to the government as the Secretary of the Cabinet, while acting on the advice of the Prime Minister. So the commissions and committees. The Election Commission on the advice of the Conference of Rulers. The Judicial and Legal Service Commission after consultation with the Chief Justice. The Malaysian Public Service Commission at his discretion, after considering the advice of the Prime Minister and after consultation with the Conference of Rulers and the judges, the Chief Justice of Malaysia on the advice of the Prime Minister and the Conference of Rulers. So the Chief Judge of Sabah and Sarawak on the advice of the Prime Minister and the Conference of Rulers. So the senators, it means that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints 44 senators to the Dewan Negara, the upper house of Parliament. So the state governors, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoint the Yang di-Pertuan Agri, or the governors of the states of Penang, Melaka, Sabah, and Sarawak at his discretion after considering the advice of the state's chief minister. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong also appoints the mayor and city council of Kuala Lumpur. So this means that they will appoint all the politicians. So not only but the governors and the city council and the mayor who was being appointed here. So the head of Islam. In addition, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is the head of Islam in the fourth state. The four states ruled by appointed governors in the three federal territories, as well as in his own state. So in this role, he is advised by the State Islamic Affairs Council in each of the states. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints the chairman and members of each council. So he also appoints the state mufti in each of these states. There is a single Islamic Affairs Council with jurisdiction for the three federal territories. This council is also appointed by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, so the commander-in-chief. So in accordance with Article 41 of the Constitution, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is commander-in-chief of the Malaysian Armed Forces. As such, he's the highest ranking officer in the military chain of command. So as the supreme commander of the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong appoints the Chief of Defense Forces on the advice of the Armed Forces Council. So he also appoints the service heads of each of the three branches of the military forces. So that's why it's kind of things about military. So what kind of history is this? So on 1957, having rejected this suggested title of Yang di-Pertuan Besar in favor of Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the Conference of Rulers elected the first occupant of the throne. So by seniority, the 84-year-old Major General Ibrahim of Johor, Sultan of Johor since 1895, was first in line, but he declined due to the old age. So the next in line, Abu Bakar of Pahang, Sultan of Pahang since 1932, was rejected 5 times by his fellow electors and did not secure the necessary votes, in part because the rulers considered his various marriages to celebrities and cabaret dancers to be the unbecoming of royalty. So Abu Bakr of Pahang. So this means that it's belonged to the ancestry to the current Agong right now. So Abdul Rahman of Negeri Sembilan, having been elected to his state throne, Yang Tuan Besar in 1933, was elected by 8 votes to 1. So the first conference of rulers after the formation of Malaysia comprised. So everything is here. The title Yang di-Pertuan Besar, of course, is in Negeri Sembilan, and the state rulers are Tuanku Abdul Rahman Ibni Almarhum Tuanku Muhammad, Sultan Hisamuddin Alam Shah Al Haj Ibni Almarhum Sultan Alauddin Sulaiman Shah in Sultan of Selangor, Tuanku Syed Putra Ibni Almarhum Syed Hassan Jamaluwal in Raja of Perlis, Sultan Ismail Nasiruddin Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Zainal Abidin III from the Sultan of Terengganu, Sultan Batli Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Hamid Habib Shah, or Tunku, the first PM's brother, the Sultan of Kedah. So Sultan Ibrahim, I just been said just now because I don't know, because it still keeps stopped there. So let's continue. Sultan Ibrahim Ibni Almarhum Sultan Muhammad the Fourth in the Sultan of Kelantan. So Sultan Abu Bakar Riyauddin Abdul Wazam Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Abdullah Al Mutasim Billah Shah, the Sultan of Pahang. The Crown Prince of Johor, Tunku Ismail Ibni Sultan Ibrahim, Sultan Yusof Izzuddin Shah Ibni Almarhum Sultan Abdul Jalil Karamatullah Nasiruddin Mukhtaram Shah Raziallah Huanhu from the Sultan of Perak, and Sultan Haji Omar Ali Saifuddin Saadu Khairi Wadian Ibni Almarhum Sultan Muhammad Jamalul Alam the Second Sultan of Brunei. So I comment that this might be the long name for all these majesties here. So how did the election goes? So the election goes like this. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is formally elected to a 5-year term by and from the 9 rulers of the Malay states, 9 of the 13 states of Malaysia that have hereditary royal rulers who form the Conference of Rulers. After a ruler has served as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, he may not stand for election until all rulers of the other states have also stood for election. So in the event of a vacancy of the office by death, resignation or deposition by a majority vote of the rulers. The Conference of Rulers elects the new Agong is as if the previous term had expired. The new Yang di-Pertuan Agong is elected for a full 5-year term. So after his term expires, the conference holds a new election in which the incumbent would not be re-elected. So the position de facto rotates among the 9 rulers. So this election of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is usually followed by an order based on the seniority calculated by length of reign for each ruler in 1957 at the Federation of Malaya's independence from the United Kingdom. So the Conference of Rulers, which has the power to disqualify a candidate, has sometimes varied the original seniority order as noted above. So since then, the states have followed a de facto established rotation order. So the minors are automatically disqualified from the office because minors are somehow it's getting devastated. So we usually ignored about the minors. So the Conference of Rulers has met regularly since 1985. So the four governors Yang di-Pertuan agree. The head of states without hereditary rulers also attend the conference, but only rulers are allowed to vote and stand for the election as Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the qualifications here is only a ruler may be elected. Only the rulers may vote. So the constitution provides that a ruler is not eligible for election as Yang di-Pertuan Agong if the ruler is a minor. The ruler has notified the keeper of the ruler's seal that he does not wish to be elected. The Conference of Rulers by a secret ballot resolves that the ruler is unsuitable by reason for infirmity of mind or body or for any other cause to exercise the functions of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the resolution requires at least 5 members of the conference to vote in favor of it. So the election proceedings. So the installation of Yang di-Pertuan Agong usually took how many years? We know that it's 5-year term. So the election is carried out. Is carried out by a secret ballot. So the ballot papers used are not numbered but marked with the same pen and ink and are inserted into a ballot box. Only the rulers participate in the election. A ruler may appoint another ruler as his proxy to vote on his behalf if he is unable to attend the election meeting. During the election process, the keeper of the ruler's seal distributes the ballot with only one candidate. Each ruler is requested to indicate whether the candidate is suitable or not to be elected as Yang di-Pertuan Agong. And the next one here, the most junior ruler, who is not listed as nominee for the office of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or the outgoing Yang di-Pertuan Agong, is appointed to count the ballot papers together with the keeper of the ruler's seal. So the nominee must have obtained 5 votes before the ruler presiding over the election meeting offers him the office of Yang di-Pertuan Agong. If the successful nominee declines the offer or the nominated ruler fails to secure the required majority votes, the voting process is repeated with the nomination of the second most senior ruler based on the list of seniority of states. Rulers are named and stand for election in turn. and then in turn. So the process is completed only after a ruler has accepted the offer of the office of Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the conference declares that the ruler is the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to hold office for a term for 5 years. Of 5 years. So the ballot papers are destroyed in the presence of the ruler as soon as the result of the election is announced. So on taking office as Yang di-Pertuan Agong, he appoints a regent for the duration of his 5-year term for the state, which he rules usually but not always. The regent is a close relative. The regent acts as head of the state in that state for every purpose except for the role of head of Islam, which is retained by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the order of seniority of states. So since the first cycle, because it goes on one cycle here, it's according to the seniority of states here. So since the first cycle of 9 Yang di-Pertuan Agong 1957 to 1994, the order among the eligible state rulers has followed the order established by that cycle, namely the Yang di-Pertuan Besar of Negeri Sembilan, the Sultan of Selangor, Raja of Perlis, Sultan of Terengganu, Sultan of Kedah, Sultan of Kelantan, Sultan of Pahang, Sultan of Johor, and Sultan of Perak. So we're gonna finish the second one, the second term for this cycle, the second cycle for this. So we are now in Sultan of Pahang, and we're gonna all the way finish this cycle. Only 2 sultans, Sultan from Johor and Perak. So this only takes about 5 years. Do not worry about it. So with the rejection of Brunei of its admission to Malaysia in 1963, only the rules of the 9 royal states of Peninsular Malaysia have been made eligible for the election for the throne. Had it been accepted as a royal state, the Sultan Brunei would have been granted the right to stand for the election as Yang di-Pertuan Agong by the conference. And this cycle was originally established based on seniority. No wonder it is here. However, the current rulers are named and stand as a candidate according to the cycle, irrespective of whether they are currently the most senior. So this since independence from British colonial rule. This has been the order of elected Yang di-Pertuan Agong. However, the order is not a precedent, and the election to the position of Yang di-Pertuan Agong is at the pleasure of the conference of rulers. So, as an elective monarchy, there is no line of succession to the throne of Malaysia. So 4 of the states of Malaysia currently have no hereditary royal rulers. So these are Penang and Malacca in Peninsular Malaysia, and Sarawak and Sabah on the island of Borneo in East Malaysia. So Sarawak previously had a hereditary ruler until it became a crown colony of the British Empire in 1946. These 4 states, along with Malaysia's 3 federal territories, do not supply the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So for the immunity, in 1993, the amendments to the Malaysian Constitution removed the legal immunity of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and the rulers in their personal capacity due to the public outrage over their behavior. Just now been sneezed. Sorry guys, just excuse me. So a special court, Mahkamah Khas Raja is established where civil and criminal proceedings can be made against a ruler with the approval of the Admi General. So the right to sue a ruler is limited to Malaysian citizens following a press precedent. So the special court also have jurisdiction where a ruler initiates legal actions against any party. So when a ruler is charged with an offense in the special court, he is required to stop exercising the functions of a ruler. In the event of a ruler being sentenced to imprisonment for more than 1 day, he will cease to be a ruler unless a free pardon is granted. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong or any ruler cannot pardon himself or his immediate family. So in such case, they may request clemency for the Conference of Rulers. These are all the case here. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong cannot be sued in court of his actions while carrying out his official duties. Any claims can be made against the federal government. So the resident. Sorry for this disturbing gestures here. So this is where they stay. In Istana Negara, the official residence for the Yang di-Pertuan Agong since 2011. So the compound of the old Istana Negara at Jalan Istana, official residence for the Yang di-Pertuan Agong from 1957 to 2011. This is at Putrajaya. It's where last time they usually live there. So the old Istana is at Jalan Istana. So the official residence for the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is Istana Negara, the state palace, or like the national palace located in Jalan Duta, in the federal state Kuala Lumpur. It was completed in 2011, and it replaced the old Istana Negara in Jalan Istana, which had been turned into the Royal Museum in 2013. So the other residences include the Royal Retreat, Istana Melawati in the federal administrative capital Putrajaya. So it is also the venue of meetings of the Conference of Rulers. So the title and style. To know the title and style here, sorry for that. So the title and style. Styles of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the reference style. His Majesty, spoken style. Your Majesty, alternative style is Tuanku. So the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's full style and title in Melawati is Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia, Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong. This is a long name. The long name as long as you call them. So Kebawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia literally means under the dust of the Almighty, referring to how the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's power is just compared to God's power, and the ruler is always subservient to God. So Seri Paduka Baginda refers to Seri as in a person. Paduka means victorious, and the term Baginda is the Malay possessive pronoun, or the kata ganti nama diri, as long as you learned in Malay. For royal in the third person, kata ganti nama diri ketiga. This is in Bahasa Melayu. So Yang di-Pertuan Agong in literally English is called He Who is Made Supreme Lord. It is an archaic term for a presiding head, which is Yang di-Pertuan, or literally means the one in charge. Agong or Agung in standard Malay means supreme. The term Agong is not translated as in the Constitution of Malaysia. So the common English term used in the media and by the general public include king or the supreme king, paramount ruler, head of state, head of the federation, and head of state of the federation. So in Malaysian passports before 2010, the title, the Supreme Head of Malaysia, was used in English version of the passport note since the issuance of ICAO compliant e-passports in 2010. the untranslated title His Majesty the Yang di-Pertuan Agong of Malaysia is used. So in Ferment English correspondence, the king is referred to as His Majesty the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the formal address to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is taken seriously in Malaysia. There are two ways of addressing the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Malay, Tuanku, literally, my lord. English, your majesty. So royal standards. This is to know how your royal standard was. The royal standard of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is royal yellow with the coat of arms of the Malaysia in the center, surrounded by a rice paddy reef. The same goes for the royal standards of the Raja Permaisuri Agong and the Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong, but the designs are different. The Raja Permaisuri Agong standard is green in color with the coat of arms at the center surrounded by the paddy reef. So the deputy of Yang di-Pertuan Agong's standard is bicolored. The deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong, that means it's bicolored, yellow at the top and light blue at the bottom with the coat of arms at the center without the paddy, and below that is the office bearers. So to know how is the Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong works. So it's elected by the same process immediately after the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the office is usually, but not always, held by the ruler next in line after the Yang di-Pertuan Agong exercises the functions of the head of the state during the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's absence or inability to exercise his functions due to illness or infirmity, similar to a region in other countries. So the Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong does not automatically succeed as Yang di-Pertuan Agong when a vacancy occurs in that office. So the Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong acts as a head of state before the election of the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong and Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So the current Timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong is Sultan Nazrin Shah of Perak, since the Yang di-Pertuan Agong is the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong is being throned. So the king's birthday. So according to the king's birthday here, you know the king's birthday is tomorrow, right? So the first Saturday of June until 2015 was mandated by law. Citation needed as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong's official birthday, and it is marked with various activities all over the nation, and the celebrations in Kuala Lumpur are the highlights of the national festivities, with the celebrations of it from 2013 onwards, lasting a whole week between 2 weekends. So after the installation of Sultan Muhammad V as king in 2017, the date for the official birthday was amended twice, first to the last Saturday of July and then to September 9th. This amendment was originally planned to take effect under the rule of Sultan Muhammad V until 2021 before his announcement to step down. So to date, no further announcement is made yet as to when is the new official day under the reign of Al Sultan Abdullah, the current Agong right now. King's birthday honors list ceremony and birthday high tea. So the Istana Negara in Kuala Lumpur serves the venue of the annual King's birthday honors list and address to the nation ceremony attended by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong and the Raja Permaisuri Agong. This means it's very official here to meet with these persons, as usually you might pay attention. Members of the federal government and parliament, the state diplomatic corps honored guests and the honors list members for the next year in the honor of presidents of the state medals. The event honor the year's national achievers and heroes with the awarding of state orders. The medals and decorations and their accompanying titles, the king addresses the whole nation via radio. They use the radio and the television on this day from the throne room of the palace complex here. So it is followed later by the traditional holiday high tea, gathering in the palace grounds in the afternoon. So, the trooping the color in Malaysia, as long as in UK, although inherited from the British, has transformed into a grander and more Malaysian celebration on the first Saturday of June, and we live in Kuala Lumpur's Independence Square, which is both open to invited guests and the general public. As the Supreme Commander of the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong takes a salute on this day together with the commanders of the three services of the Malaysian Armed Forces, the Joint Forces Command Malaysia, and the members of the Malaysian Armed Forces Council, of which he is chairman, plus military personnel and veterans in attendance. So he wear the number one dress uniform. That's nice on that day, as each of the 8 state monarchs are colonel-in-chief of selected Malaysian Army regiments, as well as of the Royal Malaysian Air Force, and the Sultan of Selangor serves as Commodore-in-Chief of the Royal Malaysian Navy. So he wears the regiment's color sash as part of his ceremonial uniform for the Army on the RMAF blue or RMN white number 1 dress uniform. So the 2013 edition was held on the second Saturday of June for the first time in its history. The 2016 parade was held on the 4th of Friday of July, 22nd of July, during the Sarawak Government's Day. Sarawak Day in here. So for the first time in Putrajaya, the national seat of government is here. So RTM broadcasts this unique. It's very unique here. The unique ceremony live is going on tomorrow with the telecast starting at 8:50 in the morning with a nationwide simulcast. So I'm speaking here, the album is speaking there, going to be tomorrow. So hope to see that tomorrow at 8:50 a.m. So Yang di-Pertuan Agong Scholarship. So in November 2016, the 10th Yang di-Pertuan Agong from Perlis awarded for the first time the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Scholarship to 10 outstanding students to pursue postgraduate studies at high-ranking world universities. So this scholarship is about the 10 outstanding students to pursue the postgraduate students here at the high-ranking world universities. So the award of scholarships was held at the Istana Negara in conjunction with the Independence Day celebrations and the Conference of Rulers. So the list here, so this means it's all the way down through the cycle Yang di-Pertuan Agong, because settled down from number 1 to number 15, number 16 here, and before the timbalan is before how it was. So let's get started within this first term and the second term. So the denotes of those who became the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong immediately following the end of their tenure as timbalan Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So to know that it's here, and to see also for the regalia of Malaysia, Yang di-Pertuan Negara, Malay titles, elective monarchy, Raja Permaisuri Agong, and the official state card. So the references, do not forget. So the further reading, what I've been accidentally pressed out. So for the further reading, you might read this. Visus Sinadurai, His Majesty Sultan Aslan Shah, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong the 9th Malaysia, Supreme Court Journal, Kuala Lumpur, special issue to commemorate the installation of His Majesty Sultan Aslan Shah as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong the 9th Malaysia, with a lengthy description of the functions of the office. So the external links, do not forget Malaysian Parliament's Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the Malaysia National Library's libraries, Yang the Batuan Agong, and the World Statesman. So I'm continuing with the computer. So gonna use the computer for me to get it. So this Yang the Batuan Agong is officially here. So find out whatever it is. So gonna search something of how it was. So to see this, you search Yang di Batuan Agong, YANG space TI space P or dash PERTUAN space AGONG. So we might see this for more results here. So I'm gonna search it for how it was according to the emblem here. Gonna search again. It's all the portraits here. So do not forget these persons. So I'm gonna search here. It's native. It's very native here. It's very native here. Last year there was an installation. We are so happy to be proud for the installation. It's from the Awani, Astro Awani. So you click here, Senarai Yang di Batuan Agong Partial Rasmi Parliament Malaysia. So I'm gonna search it in here. Whatever it is, I'm gonna search here. It's all about something. The Senara Yang di Batuan Agong. You go down to the screen here. Go down to the screen here. You're gonna get it. It's all the frames. All the frames. You might see it. You might search it. It's the frames. You do not forget. Wait a second. It's all the flashcards. Yeah. This is the mother tongue here. Mother tongue here is native. So it's from 31st of January. And you see the flashcards over here. Yang di Batuan Agong Kebawah. This means 15th Yang di Batuan Agong. I click here. This might come out. So it's from 13th December 2016 or 6th January 2019. This is how it was before. I'm gonna search it here. Wait a second, there's a knock over here. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and whatever you wanted again. So I hope to see you for the next time in here. I'm gonna close this computer right away. So I'm gonna shut down to it for the next one, and we will see you tomorrow in the live broadcast, here. So bye bye and see you. There's some knocking going on here. Bye. I'm gonna leave now.